MIRSAD,
Yes,
I
sir.
believe you were helping some of the UFC guys over here. Were you helping them work out a bit over here? A few of the fighters?
Yeah, for sure. I was just here more for just kind of mental support. I was with a lot of the guys at the training camp at TriStar. So and it was not much training. It was just me and Coach Fraz doing some training on the side, just going forward with my own training camp as soon as I get a fight booked. But for the other part, it was more an experience with my father and you know, just supporting my teammates.
When do you want to get back in there? You know what I mean? A lot of people are wondering when we're going to see you again. Ideally, when would you like to fight?
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me when I like to fight, and my answer to that question is I like to fight in November. I heard there's a show in Madison Square Garden. I'm not exactly sure what date it is. I heard November 2nd, but that's definitely a card I'd like to get on, and it's a big platform to showcase, you know, again, what I'm going to continue to be doing.
Have you got any particular opponent in mind that you'd like to take on next?
As far as who I like to fight next, any particular name, not really, just because a lot of the fights are booked. As far as the top guys, you know, you got, I think Emmett's the only one that's available, but he's hurt. So I'm not really sure. I guess right now I'm just chilling, seeing what happens with all these fights that are booked with the top guys. I know Mendez just got off with his fight. I'm not sure what's gonna be happening with him, but they call me Teddy because I'm always ready. So I'm ready to go. You know, I've been training every day, and I'm still getting better. So I'm excited for you guys to see this next one. Where hopefully, maybe it's not a wrestler that continues to try to take me down. You know, Lamas kept trying to take me down, so kind of I had to adjust to that, and so it kind of cut off some of my striking. But maybe if it's a striker, then it's gonna be a good night, I believe, for me.
How do you feel about Max Holloway there with the weigh-in situation? A lot of people don't know if he's going to be hanging around as champion of the division. What does that do? Like, I mean, how long do you see him hanging around at the top of the featherweight class?
When it comes to Max Holloway, from what I know, we have the same management, but I wouldn't speak too much on Max. But from what I heard, he walks around very heavy, like 190, 185. So, yeah, I think that's part of the issue why he hasn't been active as much as he has. You know, even with Khabib, he didn't make the weight at 55. So it's a little suspect, that whole situation. You know, it's been like 3-4 times now. Something's happened, you know, with the ankle, with the weight, and I don't know. But as far as Max goes, I don't think it's gonna be too long, as far as what his management also says, and it opens the door a lot for me. And you know, maybe like Brian Ortega. I mean, I think I could be fighting soon for a title. You know, if I fight somebody ahead of me in the rankings, it could be a fight or two away. And if it's not somebody that's, you know, ranked higher than me, then maybe 3 fights, and I'll be fighting one of those guys, either Ortega or Max or whoever else is there.
Aldo and Jeremy Stephens obviously is going down next weekend. What's your prediction for that?
Aldo and Jeremy Stephens. Man, I trained with Jeremy when I was like 20, so like 6 years ago I trained with Jeremy, and if it doesn't go past the second round, I'm gonna go with Aldo, and if it goes past the second round, I'm gonna go with Jeremy, just because Aldo's gas tank seems to be running out, and this seems like in the second round he loses some of his conditioning, and it's happened, you know, the past 2 fights. Around the second round, it seems where he wears out.
So you mentioned the Lamas fight, which I think most people would agree is perhaps the biggest victory of your career in terms of names. You know, tough fight, split decision. What do you feel are your biggest takeaways from that performance?
Yeah, the fight with Ricardo Lamas was, for my career, it was definitely the biggest name. He's fought, you know, he fought Cub Swanson. He fought a lot of the greats. You know, he fought Max Holloway. He fought Aldo. He fought all these guys. So it was definitely the biggest name in my resume. And my biggest takeaway was it was a great blueprint for what I need to go back on and work on. Just like little details, you know, especially, you know, like guillotines. I mean, I work guillotine defense as far as, I mean, anybody who watched the fight saw that, you know, I skipped a lot of guillotines. But, you know, facing somebody like Brian Ortega, you know, I don't even want to be in that situation. So it was a great blueprint for what I've been working on and what I'm gonna show next time around.
When it comes to this event here in Hamburg, how much do you enjoy this event so far? Do you watch the fights, and what do you think about, you know, doing the media? How much do you enjoy these responsibilities and duties when it comes to fighter doing the media?
Yeah, my whole experience in Hamburg has been really amazing. It's a beautiful city, very green, and the buildings. I love the buildings. Just the old style of the world. I really enjoy it, and just being here. Not fighting, but just enjoying this experience, you know, talking with you guys, and it's cool. It's definitely a cool experience and something I look forward to doing more often.
And when it comes to the fight card, do you have any particular fighters that you cheer for tonight?
For sure. I was training for Alex Rakic. He just won. I was training with him in the American Top Team when I was over there, and now that I'm at TriStar, I'm a very good friend, you know, brother Nasrat. He's fighting tonight. So definitely cheering for him and hoping he pulls out on top.
So with you doing so well now, when you got, you know, Dahmer Hadjovic fighting McCarthy tonight.
Yeah, sorry, Dahmer.
Oh man, I'm like, where's the solidarity?
See, my mind's all over the place, man. You got girls, you got fighters, man, you got all kinds of things. Yeah, Dahmer's fighting tonight. You know, he's been talking about coming up to TriStar, and he's you know, a countryman. So definitely cheering on for him, of course, and yeah.
Well, with like I said, you're doing so well, and you know he's fighting McCarthy tonight. Do you feel like perhaps Bosnian MMA or like fighters from that region, that's a bit of a golden age? Because we saw as well Alexander Rakic, those age people are, you know. For sure. As far as, you know, fighters and the talent pool in Bosnia or in all of the Balkan region, I think has a lot of potential. I've been living there for the past. After every fight, I go and live there for a month or two, and I train there with the coaches there. And I'm very impressed with their striking and their kickboxing, and yeah, they're just that talent. We have so many human beings, so many individuals there that need direction, and kids that this sport can be such a great outlet for them, as it has been for me, and you know, definitely give some purpose to some kids, and yeah, just see more of this sport come out from the Balkans, and you know, God willing, maybe you know, I fight for the title. We could go to Bosnia. It'll be crazy.
Looking ahead to the rest of the year, we've got DC and Stipe. We had Stipe. DC's gonna be taking on Brock Lesnar next. What's your reaction to that? What do you think about that fight, and who do you think is gonna come away with the win?
As far as DC versus Lesnar goes, I'm going for. I mean, DC I think he just has the skill level. Yeah, you just can't even match the skill level as far as all around MMA. But it's definitely as a fan, man, it's exciting, man. You got this freaking bear taking on a smaller teddy bear, but it's just exciting, you know. It's exciting. People want to see crazy things, you know. I'm sure Brock goes to China. You're like, who's this guy, you know? Yes. All these people go to China, so it's like China here in America. It's definitely an exciting fight, and I think it'll be a big pay-per-view seller.
So, you know, a lot of people are criticising Brock coming in and getting that fight. What did you think about the whole altercation in the octagon? And, you know, does it bother you, him coming in and getting that shot?
No, Brock Lesnar coming into the octagon was awesome. I loved it. He's a badass. He just like bullied him, pushed him away. It was super cool, and I think it's amazing. If it don't make money, it don't make sense. And somebody like Brock Lesnar, man, anybody would pay to see him fight anybody, just because he's a freak of nature, and I think it's awesome. I think it's great for the sport. You know, it's great to get more fans from the WWE over. So yeah, it's amazing. I think more things like this need to happen. We're starting to have more of these super fights for 2 belts. So it's just amazing what, you know, Conor, what Brock, all these guys are doing for the sport, and you know, I'm looking to bring something that makes to it, you know, one day.
And another big fight, hopefully it's going to get announced, or maybe this year or next. Khabib and Conor. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, Khabib versus Conor. I'm going with Khabib. I mean, I think it'd be a no-brainer, but Yeah, it's amazing. People want to see, you know, everybody wants to see Conor back fighting. So, man, fighting somebody like Khabib, it's gonna be so awesome. It's gonna be awesome for everybody, for fans. You know, there's no really, I don't think there's a loser in that fight. There's just like one of those super fights like Brock versus DC. You know, you got McGregor. He's amazing at boxing, kickboxing. He has he's great at his own thing. And you got Khabib. He's what Conor is at boxing and striking, at wrestling, and then some. So I'm really excited for all these things that UFC is doing, and you know, they're giving the fans what they want. So it's pretty cool to be a part of it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.